Hello there internet, glitch again. I just thought I'd do a little video that might actually help some of you out. As you can see here in England, the weather is it's getting nice, it's getting warm, and of course with temperatures rising, that means your tank temperature's going to rise as well. So I thought I'd share a couple of tips on how I keep everything cool. Tip number one. So, yeah, it's probably the obvious tip. Tip number one is get a fan in your room where the tank is. This will help blow the cool air around, cool the air down, and hopefully help keep your tank temperatures down. Tip number two is also linked to this, and it's easier if I just do this rather than a silly edit. Your windows. Now, if you have your windows open in the summer, not a lot's going to be happening if there's no breeze. As you can see, there's quite a lot of breeze here, and it can actually have the opposite effect. It can actually heat your room up. So your best bet when it's hot outside is, especially in England, we have very insulated houses, so that not only keeps the cold out, but it keeps warm in, and if it's too hot outside, it'll stop the warmth getting in. So keep your windows closed. If you can, keep your curtains closed, because that'll also stop the windows from just magnifying heat inside the room. So, of course, once it gets to the evenings, when it gets a bit cooler, curtains open, windows open. If you can, have one window open on one side of the house and one on the other, and that'll create a through breeze. There's my finger doing a through breeze. So it'll blow all of the hot air out of the house. If you can have your attic open, that'll also help aerate the attic, because that'll be storing a load of heat in there. So yeah, that's tips number 1 and 2. Tip number 3 is have a dog like Lilu. No, not really. She's just modelling the Boyu fans that I bought last year, which probably saved the life of my shrimp tanks. I'll leave a link down below in the description of the fans that I bought off Amazon, so you can get those next day delivery, of course. And all that you do is you just put these on the rim of the tank, have them pointing down, and that'll just blow air across the top of the water, which will help release the air from the water, and so it'll promote gas exchange and also cooling the air at the same time. So I've got 2 of those, and I'm very glad I have now. And Lilu's happy as well. He's a good girl. Right, next tip. So this is probably the easiest and most obvious one. Increase your surface agitation on your tank. This will not only help with gas exchange, so it'll help keep your pH a bit more stable by getting rid of all that nasty CO2. Unless, of course, you live in a city like me, and then it doesn't do much anyway. But this will also help cool the tank. And also, depending on your lights, I'm lucky I'm using LEDs, but if you've got metal halides and things like that, that's going to be releasing a lot of heat, so if you can, maybe raise them up a bit. Another little one that I'm using whilst I'm at the tank is your scrubbers. Your scrubbers will be pulling in fresh air and aerating the water, so if you've got cooler air coming in through your fans or whatever, they'll be pulling it in there, and yeah, that'll help cool it down. What I'm doing at the moment is I have an air pump running through my CO2 scrubber and just into the back of the tank there, so that's just pumping in pure nice air, so that'll increase the O2 and also increase the coolness of the tank, hopefully, and turn your heaters off until it's night time. One that I know a lot of shrimp keepers use, I can't actually show you because I don't have one to hand, but just use a bottle or ice cubes of RO water. Make sure it is pure RO water, and instead of, if you're doing manual top-ups each day, instead of doing a manual top-up with just the RO water, pop in a couple of RO ice cubes and into the sump, and that will start bringing the temps down. Or if you don't have a sump, you can just fill up an old Coke bottle or something like that. Make sure you take the label off, make sure there's no glue or any nasties on it. Fill that up again with RO water or even tap water, pop it in the freezer, and then just pop that in the tank. And just make sure you're not using too big a bottle, because of course if you reduce the temperatures too much too quickly, things are probably going to die. So just a small old Coke bottle will be fine. And then of course if you're using RO water, once the bottle is no longer frozen and at the same temperature as the tank, you can just pour the water in that way. And yeah, it's a nice way of topping up, and everyone will thank you for it. Anyway, hope these tips have helped. One for you lucky people who have ceiling fans. Apparently a very easy way of helping is to get the ceiling fan turning anti-clockwise. Apparently somehow this does actually help. If it's blowing clockwise, not so good. Anti-clockwise, it's a big help. Anyway, hope you're all enjoying the weather, hope your tanks are all doing good. I'll try and get another video out soon on exactly how well the tank's doing. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the bell. And I'll speak to you all soon. Glitch out.